Hey, peace, and power and elevation be to all you beautiful people out there. This your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect today. So today I want to get into a rare topic. Well, it's not really rare, but this topic been going on for the longest. It's been like an ongoing debate about this. So I brought a special guest with me, a good friend of mine who is also a member of Team Osiris, and that's Brother Carlos Montez. We're going to be talking about the human embryonic development. So the human embryonic development deals with the embryogenesis, which means the development of the embryo, the process of the baby. Okay, just break it down in colloquial terms. So the process of the baby, how is the baby is formed and developed. The reason why, because a lot of people tend to believe that babies all humans start off as females. And I don't know where that come from. I'm guessing maybe because the woman carried the X chromosome, and by the fact that she's the one that's carrying the X chromosome, the father's chromosome doesn't kick in till later on. So we'll get to all of that, but yeah, it's an ongoing debate. People believe that everybody start off as a female, and some people say no, we all don't start off as a female, because in the beginning you don't have a sex. That's an early stage. You can't determine whether a child is a male or a female as of yet until later on in the trimester. But it's too soon to determine that. So it's pretty much unknown. So me and Brother Carlos gonna have that conversation. Carlos can break it down better than I can. Okay. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and let him talk. Hey Carlos, what's going on? What's up?
Peace. Man, this is a good conversation, and like you said, it's been going on. This conversation has probably been going on between scientists before it reached the so-called conscious community, but I think it came into effect when a lot of people, you know how we do in the conscious community, a lot of people argue who's God, the man or the woman and all that. So it kind of came in with those kind of arguments, and you got the people that say, well, the black woman is God because we all start off as female. And it's kind of a confusion in that. And I think that's what we're going to address today. Why do people think that, according to the science? And it's because they confuse a certain biological process with that. And they kind of put two and two together, like, oh, so that's why we say the black woman is God, because we all start off as female, which is not technically true.
Right.
Like you said earlier. So I'm drinking my coffee, so I'm probably gonna switch the camera out, but
okay.
But we can get into it, because it's just I don't understand why people don't just, if they believe that, go into the studies and research it and see for yourself, that's not necessarily true, that we all start off as female. So that's what we're gonna get into.
Okay. Yeah, and because I think that to me it's some form of feel-good rhetoric. Try to boost somebody's egos up. But again, we don't know exactly for a fact if that is true or not. Okay.
Right.
But where I stand on my position, I don't believe it, because it's too early to detect that. And most women don't even know that they're pregnant until they probably get around 5 months. That's the tricky part about it. Most women will not know they're pregnant until they reach about 5 months.
I think it's a test that you could do at a certain point. I forgot, it was an article I was reading about. Like you said, they don't know. And it's a test that you can do, you know what I mean, to figure that out. But we can get right into it if you want to.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So let me just say how the conversation started off, how we got to this point. So it started out where I put up a post on my Facebook page about someone made a post about an individual asked a question, a woman asked a guy a question, well, why should we submit to a man when we give birth to men, when we give birth to humanity? And I said, well, that's something interesting.
That isn't.
Because it kind of made sense. I understood where the young lady, whoever asked the question, I understood where she was coming from.
Right.
She said, in other words, why should women just be the only one to submit? because after all, we give birth to humanity. Why should we have to be the one to submit to what the man does or whatever? Why can't the man submit to us? And I think that's what she was trying to get at. Submission. I think what she was trying to say is that submission worked both ways. But yeah, everybody got on that post, jumped on the post, right? And then an individual, a guy, he came on and said everybody started off as a female. So I was trying to get him on the platform today. Obviously, he didn't want to come on here because he thought that he was going to be insulted or disrespected. I don't know. That's what he told me. So I said, okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, he started off saying that all humans start off as females. And that's when I said, well, no, that's a misconception. And I know you came on there with some articles and some information, which I got. Then a sister came on there. Shout out to CK the Poet. She came on there, posted up some article and information, and the guy still was just being resilient, and he was not going to go for it. He was like, no, I'm still going to stick to my point that we all started off as a female. All right, so explain the position, explain why you say that we all don't start off that way, and give us give me a more detail of, if you can explain the detail of how the embryogenesis process work, and why is it too early to make that type of detection? Why you can't make that type of you can't just make that type of assumption.
Yeah. So I got everything in order because I've had this argument before. Online, of course, and that's what made me start researching it, because my background is not, to be clear, my background is not genetics or biology or anything like that. I love science, but I'm just an enthusiast. I just like to read, scientific articles. Okay. I'm not an expert. So when that argument came up, I started researching it, and over the years, I just add the studies to my notes. So I got everything in order, the process in order. So I think that people confuse not being able to differentiate the gonads or the sexual, what's going to be the sexual organs, like the ovaries or the testes. You can't tell at first, like you said. So people take that as, oh, female. We don't see nothing, so that's a female. And that's not even a scientific way to even come at the situation. That's just, oh, well, I don't see nothing right there, so it's a female. Like, okay. But so we'll start, at the beginning. So first of all, both men and women have sex chromosomes. Men have sex chromosomes. Women have sex chromosomes. Men have usually, because we got genetic defects and things like that. But usually men have one X and one Y chromosome, and while women have two X's, right? So just to get that out the way, this is how we are different, men and women. Okay. So we all know basic biology. Men determine the sex of the baby. That kills their argument right there. You know what I mean? Men determine the sex of the baby. So, when that X go with the woman Y, boom. See what I'm saying? I mean, when that Y, you know what I mean? When it combine, when the man's sex chromosome combined with the woman's sex chromosome, that's how you get either a boy or a girl. So what that's telling you, and this is, anybody can look this up. Men determine the sex of a baby, depending on whether their sperm is carrying an X or a Y. That means that the man determines the sex of the baby before, it depends on what the sperm is carrying. So this is before conception. So it's either going to be either or before the sperm even hit the egg. You see what I'm saying? So we already determined the sex on a genetic level of the baby. So that kind of throws their argument out the way anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I want to bring something up because I saw this on the post. Someone said that the sperm is a living organism and that it has a life, and that the egg is just an egg. What is your take on that?
No. Well, living organism, it's a cell. So, I mean, we're living organisms and we made up of cells, but it's not, it hasn't developed into like what I would consider a fetus. To me, is a living organism. Once the egg accept that sperm, because I've read articles where it says that it's the egg determined, because the sperm race to the egg, and I think that the egg chooses which sperm activates it, and then cell division, and then it develops into a fetus. To me, that fetus that develops is a living organism. I would not say that a sperm cell is what we would call a living organism, like it has a mind, and
that's what the person was trying to state on the post, that it has a mind of its own, etc.
Nah. What it's doing, it has information. It has genetic information, and it's just doing what it's programmed to do. Because DNA ain't nothing, genes ain't nothing. DNA is nothing but information.
That's all it is.
And so it's just doing what it's programmed to do. It's nature. It's doing what nature programmed it to do. Go to that egg, fertilize it, become a fetus, then start to develop organs. Now it's living, in my opinion. That's my opinion, though. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a doctor, but that's my opinion. I don't think that a sperm cell is a living organism in the way they trying to say it is.
Okay. Now, real quick. Mm-hmm. All right, so you got some of the article. I got some of the articles that you had posted up. Mm-hmm. That I want to go over, just some of them. All right, now you put up the Smithsonian article. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and show that article real fast. All right, so yeah, Carlos, you posted up this article right here. Mm-hmm. It says dads also pass on mitochondrial DNA contrary to long-standing beliefs. A new study which found paternal mitochondrial DNA in 17 individuals appends the commonly accepted theory that mtDNA comes exclusively from the mother. All right, so now what you posted up the article, what in the article or were you trying to point out to the individual on the post?
Right. So that's like the second misconception that people use when they say that we started off as female. They say, oh, well, men don't have mitochondrial DNA. Only women got that. So that's telling you that, we was female first. And that's a misconception. And this article proves, you know what I'm saying? Because, that's their argument. Men don't have mitochondria. And, but the crazy thing about it is, according to the article, the engine of the sperm cell is male mitochondria. So males do have a specific type of mitochondria. It's a combination of sperm, mitochondria, fructose, alkaline fluid, so on and so forth. So, so males do have mitochondria. You know what I mean? And that interacts with the mother's mitochondria. Boom. You know what I'm saying? The article tells you that, not only women have mitochondria. So that kind of kills their second argument.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is a good article. I don't understand, because the brother said that the article is not reliable because it's Smithsonian's, but Smithsonian is a very reliable source and it's known to carry out a lot of scientific information. Right. So it's been around for so many years. So I don't know how the brother come off saying that it's not a reliable information. Now, and here's another one that you posted from Science Daily. It says, boy or girl in the father's genes. This came out December 12th of 2008. And this article right here, it goes on to say, let me skip down. It says the work by Corey Gadley, a research scientist at the university, has shown that men inherit a tendency to have more sons or daughters from their parents. This means that a man with many brothers is more likely to have sons, while a man with many sisters is more likely to have daughters. What? So, what's the take on that? Because you post this article up.
So it's just saying that it's all inherited. Because and it's also saying that, and then the article also says that men determine the sex of the baby depending on whether the sperm is carrying a X or Y chromosome. That's the main reason why, why I posted it. But they go deeper into it. You know what I'm saying? About undiscovered genes and stuff like that. But that what you just highlighted is the basis of the scientific consensus that's accepted to this day, that men determine the sex of a baby. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that men are better than women. The process is an equal process. You know what I'm saying? Women provide just as much chromosomes as men do. You see what I'm saying? Like it's an equal process between a man and a woman, which produces the baby. So it's not saying, since men determine the sex of the baby, we better. No, because without the woman's ovaries, it wouldn't be no baby. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Most definitely facts. All right, and then let's go to the next one. All right, so this one here is the one from ncbi.nln.nih.gov.
Okay.
All right, so this one's called Exploring the Biological Contribution to Human Health. Does Sex Matter? And it talks about sex begins in the womb. So it says sex differences of importance to health and human disease occur throughout the lifespan, although the specific expression of these differences varies at different stages of life. Some differences originate in events occurring in the intrauterine environment, which developmental process differentially organize tissue for later activation in the male or female. In the prenatal period, sex determination and differentiation occurred in a series of sequential process governed by genetics and environmental factors. During the pubertal period, behavioral and hormonal changes manifest the secondary sexual characteristic that reinforce the sexual identity of the individual through adolescence and into adulthood. Hormonal events occurring in puberty lay a framework for biological differences that persist throughout life and that contribute to variable onset and progression of disease in males and females. It is important to study sex differences at all stages of the life cycle, relying on animals' models of disease, and including sex as a variable in basis and clinical research design. All right.
Look, wait 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
You see where it says, hold on. Okay, so it says, you see where it says all human individuals?
Yes.
So look a little under there, right? It says during early development, the gonads of the fetus remain undifferentiated. That is, all fetal genitalia are the same and are phenotypically female. Okay, let's get into that. That's where the confusion come in at.
Okay, go ahead.
Phenotype. All that means is that it look like, you know what I'm saying? Phenotype is like characteristics, what it looks like. So let's get into that, right? So
okay,
I'm finna read something from my notes.
And okay, cool.
And I'm gonna provide the article I got it from. So it says the sex of a human or other placental mammals is determined from the beginning at fertilization. So the sex of a human is determined from the beginning at fertilization. If the zygote is XX, it will be a female. If it's XY, it'll be a male. Now, this is where the confusion come in. In the beginning, the embryo has this is what we just read. In the beginning, the embryo has the precursors of both female and male gonads. In the beginning, the embryo has the precursors of both female and male gonads. We ain't gonna get into all
Okay,
that.
now before you continue, real quick, explain what a gonad is for
Okay.
those who may not know what it is.
Okay, so a gonad in zoology and other sciences, it's the primary reproductive gland that produces reproductive cells called gametes. In males, the gonads are called testes. The gonads in females are called ovaries. So the gonads are basically what's gonna eventually develop either into your ovaries for the female or the testes or testicles in the male. It's like the precursor to testicles and ovaries. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
All right.
you know what I mean? So the Y chromosome, which a female has, contains a region called SRY, which is the sex determining region. It basically gives the first molecular instruction to the embryo to develop as a male. Since there is no female sex determining region in the sex chromosomes, it can be said that in mammals, the default embryological plan is female, and it is altered only if SRY is present and functional. In male embryos, the SRY gene produces a transcription factor that is responsible for the differentiation of the testes. Testes start producing androgens, male sex hormones, and also anti-Mullerian hormone, and subsequently, the external organs are formed. That's where the confusion comes in at by the default by the SRY gene area. That's the sex determining region. It's necessary
Okay,
for
so
male sex determination. So that's basically, where we differentiate between male and female. And that's where the process started. But that's where they confuse us starting off as female, because it says it can be said that in mammals the default embryological plan is female, and it is altered only if the SRY is present and functional. That's where they try to say that we start off as female at.
then
You see why they would say that?
because phenotypically everything look the same. So
Right.
phenotypically,
right.
And again, it goes back to the woman by default. So by the woman being the one to carry the X chromosome only, by default, they believe that everybody will start off phenotypically as a female.
Right.
Right.
The embryo, but like I said, the embryo has the precursors of both female and male gonads. They call paramesonephric and mesonephric ducts. They call paramesonephric and mesonephric ducts. If anybody want to look that up.
Okay, yeah, let me look that up. How you spell it?
Parames.
Para.
MES.
Okay, PARA. MES.
ONEPHRIC.
Duct. Okay, let's find out what that is. All right. Okay, so let's look this up. We're right here.
Mm-hmm.
You said paramesonephric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a crazy word, but
yes. Okay, so it's also known as Mullerian ducts, or pair ducts of the embryo that run down the lateral sides of the urogenital ridge and terminates at the sinus tubercle in the primitive urogenital sinus. In the female, they will develop to form the fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, and the upper 1/3 of the vagina. Okay.
So there's a female, I guess you can say female duct, which is the let me get that right, which is the paramesonephric, and then it's a mesonephric duct. And like I said, these are the precursors. This is before we even get female and male gonads. So, like I said, the male and female thing is already happening before we even get testes and ovaries. You can already differentiate. You know, this is before that. There's a female there's a female essence, peromesonephric, and then there's a male mesonephric. These are ducts, and they eventually become the female and the male gonads, or the ovaries and the testes. So if we all started out as female, why are there two different? You see what I'm saying? Why does one develop mesonephric and one does develop peromesonephric? See what I'm saying?
That's a great question.
If we was female, we'll just have peromesonephric, and it'll go from there. But there's two different ducts. So, you know what I mean? It's an article called The Role of SRY in Mammalian Sex Determination. That's where you can find out more, because, you know, like I said, I'm not a biologist, so I can't explain it like how the article would.
Okay, you said roles in what?
The role of SRY in mammalian
Mammalian.
MAMM.
Oh.
IAN. In mammalian sex determination. And that talks about, you know what I mean? Like, it goes into that process. The SRY process.
Okay, this article. All right, this
SRY SRY is a gene. It's a sex determining region of the Y chromosome. It's necessary for male sex determination in mammals. It initiates the steps to form testes from an undifferentiated gonad. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So undifferentiated means that it don't, you know what I'm saying? It means it's not male or female yet. So in essence, we are, I guess you could say, androgynous. I guess you could say we're not male or female yet. You see what I'm saying? That's the word. That's the correct word, I believe. Androgynous. I like to say sexless, but that's not really accurate.
Oh, it's a term. The sister posted up. It's a terminology. It's
yeah.
What's it? It's aminosexual or something like that.
Right. I seen that on your post. So to summarize everything, right? We are physically born with either a male or a female genotype, right? And in the early stages of our development, we have a physically indeterminate state. We're neither male nor really female. We kind of in between, you know. And then in that state, the organs eventually develop in the testes or ovaries, you know, located in the abdomen, right? And then these hormones come in, and then that produces the different male or female genotype. And then that's when we start really becoming either a man or a woman. So we don't start off as female, okay?
Right.
The ovaries, you know what I'm saying, either the abdomen developing the ovaries of the fetus, or they start to descend out as the testicles. So we start out in the womb as physically androgynous, or as the articles say, the scientific term, indeterminate, meaning you can't determine whether it's a male or a female. See what I'm saying?
Right,
and then
correct.
we develop the physical form of males or females. You know what I'm saying? Which is influenced by our genetically determined hormones. This is all in the information of our genes. So our genes ain't gonna mess up like Tristan said on your post. It's not like we start off as female, then it'd be like, okay, we messed up. Hold on, turn into a male. Like, that's not how it works. We don't start off as female and then be like, no, let's be a male. And then you start off indifferentiated or androgynous or in between. You have the capacity for either or, depending on what your genes determine you to form into. So whatever the information that you got from your genes, and then those hormones come in and you either become a male or a female. You're not female first.
Exactly, but it just may look that way because from the phenotypically point of view.
Exactly.
Yeah. So phenotypically, it may look like or it may appear that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's the definition of phenotype? That'll clear it up too.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and post it up real fast.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just a lot to it. It's a super complex process. You got spermatogenesis. That's how our cells develop into testes, and oogenesis, where the egg cell in a woman forms. So it's all information that is already programmed into us, before we even,
Right. Okay. I see what Trish says. Sexless. We don't develop female parts, then lose them, then develop male parts. We start off as indeterminate in sex, then develop either male or female.
Exactly. There go that indeterminate word again. You see what I'm saying? That's the scientifically accurate word. But, just for lack of a better word, you could say androgynous or in between or neither male or female yet. See what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I think the word is what she put up is amibisexual.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the word that the sister put up. So amibisexual, I guess. Like you said, is androgynous. Whatever. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So let's look up the word phenotype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
what dictionary? I got. Okay, there you go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
No, it's cool.
All right. So, okay, real fast. All right, I don't want to keep you on here for long. So, in genetics, the phenotype, which is from Greek, showing, and of course, type is the set of observable characteristics of traits of an organism. And the term covers the organism morphology or physical form and structure, its developmental process, its biochemical and physiological properties, its behavior, and the product of behavior. An organism phenotype result from two basis factors: the expression of an organism genetics code or its genotype, and the influences of environmental factors. Both factors may interact, further affecting phenotype. All right.
Okay.
So
it's
that's
the set of
that's Wikipedia definition.
Okay. So it's observable characteristics, basically.
Right.
Resulting from genotype. Okay. Yeah. So it's observable characteristics. It's it's what it looked like. That's how I see it.
Yeah, basically what it looked like versus what it really is. So it's like kind of like optical illusion. Like one minute it might look like something, but it's actually something else.
Just like I could say, Halle Berry looked black, but actually, if we take a DNA test, we would find out that her gene, that she has European and African genes. So you can't go off. You know what I mean? You can't always go. It depends on the situation.
Right.
You can't go off what something looks like. All the time. We have genetic information which will confirm whether we females or males. Not, it looked like a, you know what I mean? It looks like a female. So that's what it is.
Right.
No, what does the gene say? What that's how I see it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I want to suggest something to some people. So if you guys really want to learn more about this, I would suggest you guys to go to Khan Academy. Khan Academy is a good source of information, and Coursera also is very great as well. So for those who really want to learn more about embryogenesis or embryology is a study of the embryo, and embryogenesis goes into the genetic form of the embryo, etc., the process of developing a baby. And I'm gonna just say that in the colloquial term, the process of developing babies, how babies are developed. All
Right.
right. So, I mean, if you guys want to look into that, you guys need to check out Khan Academy, KHAN Academy, and also check out Course Era. All right. These are free. You guys, y'all can learn it a lot better. It can go, these information can go a lot more into details better than how Brother Carlos and I are doing it. So as you can see, we're not scientists, we're not expert in this, but we're only just using information to back up and to support support our argument. So that's the main purpose of us doing this video, so we can support the argument and support our point of view of why we don't believe that we all start off as females. So with that being said, I hope everybody gained something out this video. I really hope you guys did. And I have to go ahead and let Brother Carlos go because he got something to do. But I appreciate your time, Carlos. I really do. And I appreciate that for those of you that are watching this video, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and share the channels. And for you scientists out there, those of you that's, especially those that's in the genetic fields, biology, the embryology field, or embryogenesis, neurology, I'm quite sure you guys get where we're coming from and what we're trying to say. I hope you guys get that, because I know that the way that the conscious community is trying to explain stuff, that that these scientists probably would not agree to what they're saying or wouldn't subscribe to it. Because so but other than that, there are, like you was mentioned before, Carlos, there's some people that there's some complexity behind it as well. So
Yeah.
but also at the same time, I think that this sums it up, and I think that we did a good job on here. So other than that, once again, thank you, Carlos, for coming through. I hope everything goes well with you. I appreciate it. So I know you got something to do, so I won't keep you waiting. All right.
It was a pleasure, sister.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Take it easy on yourself. Be safe.
All right, now you too. Peace.
All right. All right. So thank you guys for watching. And I hope you guys are enjoy that segment. Once again, make sure you check out Khan Academy and check out Course Era if you guys really want to learn more information about this. All right. This information can be explained a lot easier by somebody who's in the scientific field. All right. Like I told you, I'm not a scientist, neither is Carlos, but we admire science so much, and we want to be able to make sure we get the accurate information. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna check in with you guys later. I'm gonna go ahead and get my day started. So y'all take it easy. Be safe out there wherever you are in this world. Be careful. Peace and power elevation be to all of you. Until next time, this your girl Tiffany, and I'm out. Deuces.